What's up, guys? This is Do You Want a Better Universe, and this is my redirect slash information counter portion of everything that you're gonna know about the story that I'm doing. For a while now, people have been asking me, can I read your story when it's done? Can I do this when it's done? Can I do that when it's done? But here's the problem, it's never going to be done in my lifetime. I swear to you. Later on yesterday, I just came up with new story ideas that's gonna just take up hours and hours of days, of weeks, of months of time for me to actually draw all down, involving characters and the relationship with other characters and other relationship with characters that actually impact the story in a whole nother way that I even think of when I was 7, I think. But from that being said, this is the redirect. Right now, I'm going to start posting up my progress of my story on DeviantArt. And if you want to go on my DeviantArt, the link will be in the description below along with my other social medias, but just know I don't barely use those social medias, so if you're trying to get in contact with me, best way to do that is through YouTube. But for that, I will be posting my story up on DeviantArt, but there are some certain things that you need to know about the story before you get into it. This is a very important video. If you see a person reading it and they haven't seen this video, try to inform them to watch this video before getting more into the story. Okay, important thing number 1. Spelling and grammar. This is a rough draft of the story. This is not the final cut. The final cut is going to be like, you know, regular manga style where I have to ink it all up and all that jazz and pretty much finalize it. This is a rough draft, so you're gonna see some spelling and grammar errors, but don't worry, I haven't gotten too lazy, and just for you guys, just for your amusement, I am reading through it again to try to correct any spelling errors, because since it's a rough draft, the dialogue didn't really have to be that important, but the drawings had to be so I can get a feel for it, so I can improve the drawing for later on. Speaking of drawing, that's number 2. From the beginning to where I am now, you're going to see a huge spike in increase in drawings talent from very light to very somewhat boldish and somewhat in between different sketchbooks that I'm going to be going through. So with that being said, yes, it's kind of like any other manga story. When you read Naruto or Dragon Ball Z or any other thing, you see that they have concepts of characters and you see them, but when you go down the line, their character kind of changes a bit in design wise because they found a new and better way to draw them in a whole different way, like how Kishimoto drew Sasuke with a type of hairstyle that might be easy, but it wasn't really easy for him after down the line. So the same thing with the Toby mask. Same thing happens with me. Since it's a rough draft, you might see certain characters have one design, and then in the next design, they're going to have a different design. Sometimes those different designs get explained because of this part of the story, but sometimes it will not be explained until probably later on, and or just for no reason whatsoever. Because I'm trying to finalize an actual design for these characters. Because I started this a few years ago. Since I started a few years ago, I wasn't fully in depth with how the characters should look and should act. Well, how they act is pretty obvious to me, but what they look like kind of changes in certain aspects, but it's not too critical of a change that you'll be like, why isn't this person doing this, or why isn't they saying that they changed their outfit? But some characters do that because it does impact the story in some way. Now, there's number 3, and this is the most important one of the entire video. Please pay attention closely to this one. This story is not for kids. And this story is not even for some adults, alright? So, in the story there are suggestive themes, use of alcohol, rape, and heavy uses of curse words, especially where we're in hell. When we're in hell, and the story is in hell, expect curse words out the wazoo. If you're under the age of 18 and don't like swear words, and also don't like the concept of rape and rapey type dilemmas and sexual themes and alcohol usage, please, by all means, do not read this. Not at all. I will implore you not to, because once we reach sketchbook 5, I think you would want to say, okay, maybe this wasn't for me, and I wouldn't blame you. But it's all part of the story, and and everything that happens in the story happens for a reason. There is no dead things. There is no things I don't do not on purpose. So, that's just it. But if you are not into those things and you find those things grotesque, horrifying, and or unreasonable for you to even try to comprehend, please do not read the story. And when certain pages come up, I will put the adult content thing on DeviantArt. So you have to have like a clearance to actually see those certain pictures, because I don't want to warp your minds. My roommate read certain parts of it and they're like, dude, you have a messed up brain. And I'm like, yeah, I do, but it kind of needs to happen because this character needs to go through a traumatic experience, and how am I supposed to let her go through a traumatic experience if I can't draw it for her to have? If I'd be like, if I just put insert tragic experience here, that'd be stupid. So, yeah, okay. That's the very important one that you really need to know about. I don't know about point 3 or point 4. Either way, it's really important for you to know. If you're reading this, expect curse words, expect some things to go in the corner, and number 4 or 5. God dang it. You guys need to listen to this. You know how in some animes and mangas, people have plot armor? And how in Agami Got Killed, they don't have plot armor, but I did see a video that apparently the no plot armor thing actually makes it so, okay, they have no plot armor, so they can die at any given point. Mine is kind of like that, but they will die for a purpose. And that purpose will be explained, and that purpose will be important to know. So if a certain person dies, you'll know why. But I do have a beyond means of death in my story. You'll know what it is once you read it, but dying is literally the least of everybody in that story's problem. Dying is by far the least threatening thing to people. So, yeah. And if there was an award for how many people on screen that die in my story, I would probably win it. And I'm not even I'm not even really getting into chapter 2, and I'm gonna show you all of chapter 1 down the line. So, if we ever get to where I am now in the story, I'm gonna start uploading my progress and show you more. It's gonna have like updates and stuff, but where I am right now is gonna take a while, and I already got 12 scans done in, and I can't just hog the scanner in school the entire day. So that's how that goes. So in summary forms, there are certain things that children should not be able to read in this. Certain grammar and certain spelling things might be overlooked because, you know, I will make sure that the big words are spelled correctly, and certain grammars like your and your are probably going to be changed and stuff like that. But just to let you guys know, rough draft. I'm just getting the story done so I know it's done. And so I can finalize it as this is the story, and once I finally get that drawing talent that I can say that I'm just as good or near good as my favorite mangakas out there, then that's when the story is really going to be finalized to the point where I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to release to the masses as a manga, and hopefully adaptate it into an anime and get it done. So for anyone who is interested in the story and accepts all those points I just mentioned about the story, head in the description below to the DeviantArt page, become a watcher, whatever, and probably the first few pages will come out tomorrow or the next day. If they do not come out tomorrow or the next day, please message me because I'm apparently doing something wrong. So yeah, and not to mention scanning I'm doing my best. The scanner is stupid. Remember, scanner is really stupid. So I'm doing my best with that thing. And so in that, I will give up like updates each time I'm done with a sketchbook. So just to let you guys know, we're done with one sketchbook. Here's what to say in the next sketchbook, sort of like that sort of deal. And who knows, this might be good publicity, because if there's one thing I need in my story, it's feedback. So do not be afraid. When it comes to spelling, I got that. I know spelling sucks, and I know kind of like some of the handwriting is a little bit bad. That's me. That's my fault. But what I do want from you guys, I want you to be my critics. I want you guys to tell me if something's wrong. I want you guys to tell me if there's a plot hole. I want you guys to tell me something's wrong here, and that's it. I want you to tell me that. And if there's a question that will be explained later on in the story, I'll tell you it'll be later on in the story. But if it's something that I really legit looked over, tell me so I can correct it. This is what rough drafts are. If this was the final product, I would be mortified that I got something wrong like that. So this is why this is really important. And I also really want to share the story with you guys. And finally, since I have a scanner after all these years of trying to get one, and it's at the school, I can do it for you guys. This story means a lot to me. It is the reason why I'm in college. It is the reason why I'm even alive. It is the reason why I move on forward in this life that we call hell. So, yes, if there's anything that you can help me improve about it, because I'm doing a drawing on my own. You can't improve the drawing for me because the drawing talent is based on me solely and what I'm doing in college right now to improve that. You can't help me with the spelling because same thing with school on that deal. You can't help me with the grammar, again, school, but what you can help me with is how to progress the story in a meaningful way and how to impact it. And I already got like a list of people I need to thank if this does become successful, because a lot of people helped me down the line of making the story what it is today. The only things that they didn't help me with was icon, nothing, and the main character. But everyone else had like an influence for me to make and how they interact with each other. That's the thing. So, with you guys helping me, I think this might be one of the best stories to ever come out of any place ever. And we can make that a reality, and I really hope that everyone and anyone that's watching this video can help me out in that way, and we can make this a big following. Share this video with other people that doesn't really look forward to, because there are certain people on my channels that don't really pay attention to the ones without reactions unless they have something to do with reactions, but I really want people to like critique me on this, because I haven't gotten many critiquers. If I can count on one hand, how many people have read my story, it will be it will just be 5 fingers. And that's bad. They all say it's good, but that's just 5 people. Usually when you do ratios, it's 10 people to do 1 to 100 and stuff. So I need more people to get feedback on. And since it's on DeviantArt, my DeviantArt and stuff like that, and I got it all like copyrighted stuff, they can't really steal it. So that's what was the main thing my family and other things were worried about. It's just like if someone stole this and they used your stuff, it's like, they know me. They know I'm not that person to be like, I don't think my stuff is important enough for someone to take. But they're my parents and they're my siblings and stuff like that saying, this is good. Don't let anyone steal it. But again, this is up to you guys helping me out. And I want you guys to help me out. And don't be afraid to tell me I'm doing something wrong. If I had a nickel for every time someone told me that something was really bad when it came to the story, I would have no nickels. Because again, as I said, everyone said it was pretty good. But that's just it. I want nickels from you guys. I want you guys to tell me that something's wrong. I want you guys to tell me, oh, this is predictable. Oh, I can see this coming. Because this is what the story is supposed to encompass. It's supposed to encompass something that's supposed to surprise you in every shape and term. You're supposed to interpret something one way, and then later on in the story you see, bam, it's not the same. So, with that, in your heads, please help me out. I want you guys to help me out. I want you guys to critique my work, and this is why I'm doing this, and I really want to help, and I really want, like, to improve. Storytelling wise. Again, drawing and stuff is up to me. I need to get that on my own. And then once you get to like the sketchbook 6 or maybe I think it's 7 or 8, you're gonna start seeing some drawing quality get up. Backgrounds, I'm working on backgrounds. I hate landscaping. So yeah, once I get to my landscaping class, they're going to hate me. So yeah. Again, rough draft, not everything's complete. Spelling, grammar, kinda out there. Curse words are present, lots of them are present. Suggestive themes, murder, lots of murder, tons of murder. God, the murder. Game of Thrones would be jealous. And uses of... I never really had many uses of drugs. I guess because since I never had any, I don't really include them. That's just funny. So is alcohol. Since I never had either of those things, you don't really see those in there. But I did, well, I was around the other stuff a lot. So, just know that this is a very mature content type of thing, and do not be afraid to tell me a review of certain stuff. And make sure you see multiple pages, because there will be stuff explained if you don't know it, and if you can predict it, please tell me and I'll see if I can like unpredict it for you. With that being said, this is Do You Want to Be the Universe? Link in the description below for my DeviantArt and other things, and I'll see you guys next time. Also, man, Ruby. God, Ruby. Okay, anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.